What's up, guys? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. WWE Kane without his mask. Probably going to doing that, the claw sort of thing, where he grabs your face. So Patreon request. Can't remember. There's two people requesting wrestlers, so I'm getting a lot of requests. I think this is Alex. I'll have to check that again. Someone else requesting wrestlers as well. Could be the other guy. Sorry, other guy. I can't remember your name. Cool guy or something. Anyway, landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause if I go too fast. I'm going to start with his sort of frown, right? He's no eyebrows, very small eyes, but he's got a very, very frowny face. So we'll do like a check mark sort of line. Starting to go this way. And it's kind of like an eyebrow, but it's a bald eyebrow. It's a brow, because he has no hair there, basically. Like Super Saiyan 3. Right, and then this sort of frowning sort of forehead wrinkle goes up that way. Okay. Maybe another sort of frown line there. Does he have a scar on his eye? I don't know, there's like another line here. So his eye then, underneath this, right, kind of like nearly touches off it. So say if we went like here, and then kind of like flat across. And go down like that, right? So very sort of dark and dramatic. Again, he's kind of no eyebrows or anything. This is kind of his eyelid as well, this sort of line. And the bottom eyelid, yeah, it comes around here. And he has like a contact in, so he's got like one gray, like blue eye, really, really dark. So kind of like comes down from here. And then it is just real black. And then like very light blue or gray or silver just around that area. And then we got kind of like bags around his eyes and stuff, just like. Okay, so head is in 3/4 pose, so his other eye is kind of behind his nose, right? So we got, say, like another sort of frowning section pretty close to his eye again, right? Like kind of a bump coming over the nose there. So then this kind of ticks up. That way. And then his nose will come out from here. Like that's like the bridge of his nose. And then the other side will like be there. And his nose kind of comes that way. So then like this joins his nostril on this side. And then you have the skin of it. Like that. And you can put a shadow under the nostril there. Okay, so his nostril on the other side kind of like comes out from this side of his nose, and the skin just goes around here. Like his cheek kind of comes out from that side then. So noses are tricky things to draw, but take your time. Brow there, maybe give him another frown wrinkle. So his other eye is like hidden fairly well in under here. So we've got kind of like an eyelid line. It's kind of like his eyelash as well. And then the bottom eyelid curving that way. And then just goes up into the corner here. Kind of like disappears in there, kind of. And then I think he's got another, no, it's not a contact eye, so it's not like silver now, so it's just like right in the corner here. And that looks like a highlight. You could leave it like that, actually. Yeah, I might leave that like that. I kind of like the way that looks. And then there's a bag underneath his eye. Okay, mouth. So grumpy enough, sort of flat mouth, kind of. Okay, male characters have small enough lips, so we'll just do sort of this kind of thing. And then maybe a top lip, little suggestion of a top lip, just sort of there. This big guy, like a chin line. Okay, so chin then. Around that way. And then his jaw. So it goes up to his ear, so we'll go here. Kind of round. It's not like overly sharp or anything. Go that way with it. Maybe like his cheek just going that way. So the other side of his face then, sort of say, so like if this was where his eyebrow would be, so this kind of like points out like that, like into the corner of his eye, and then his cheek comes back out, down this way. To the chin, sort of there. That's kind of the shape for his face, and then an ear. Curving around that way. And you'll notice, like, proportion-wise, the ear lines up with sort of the eyebrow and the bottom of the nose. Right? So it kind of fits in this space here. Just if you're wondering how high up, and it'll give you, your jaw will come up to that level as well. Because his head is fairly square, like it's straight, and then some ear lines inside. But like in general, like eyes are about halfway down the head, so like you'd know where the top of his head then compared to this. So say like nose to, say like his eyebrow. His chin is pretty big actually. That's like down to nearly that line of the chin. Say eyebrow to nose, brings it down to nose to chin. It's a little bit longer, hangs down a bit more. And then like nostril to the bottom lip is about the same as bottom lip to chin. That sort of his chin's a bit longer. But that's rough guides, you know, of proportionality of the face. So we'll try and get his bald head in now. Very, very round, baldy head. So we'll just go, like I said, so like say this whole space, right? That'll bring it like up to the top of his head, say. So there and there, about the same as there and there. And then we'll just bring this down like that, and it'll go, it's not an overly, it doesn't go back very far. It's kind of like that, and then there might be like some skin and some suggestions for his skull and all. Okay, that's his face. So we'll do old school wrestler. So neck muscles go that way. Another one that way. These two lines always go to the center of the chest. There. And then we got like his Adam's apple. And then the back of his neck is real big, right? That, and the front of it sort of there, and then his trapezius comes out that way. His trapezius on the other side goes there, and then the top of the chest muscles go out and meet sort of the shoulder sort of there. Same on this side. Pectoral muscles meet the shoulder sort of there somewhere. We'll just get the rest of his torso in. So like a big pec there, another one here, nipple kind of here I think, and then the other nipple sort of going off that way. All right, and then it doesn't really have abs visible, so it's kind of like a, you know, bodybuilder kind of physique. So we'll just go like maybe like that, and then his diaphragm. And then his back is just there. So one shoulder hanging down this way. We see tricep, and then this kind of gloved, well, it's not glove, it's like a elbow pad, I guess. Kind of wrinkles, bumps down. Off the page. And then his other hand is up, and he's doing this claw thing, so hands are tricky. You could leave it out if you wanted to just do an arm coming down. You know, you could just do a hand going down that way if you don't want to draw the hand. But we get like his shoulder in here, joins the pectoral, this sort of chest girdle sort of area, and then we got his bicep just in there. I always find a vein helps biceps look like biceps. And then he has another one of these glove things, elbow pads, coming around his elbow. And his forearm here. And it's kind of wavy, you know. It's got like some folds and fabric folds on it. And his forearm comes out from here. Joins kind of his wrist, sort of. So claw-like hand. So there's a glove on this as well, but we'll maybe draw it kind of like just a bumpy hand. So we'll go W shape for the palm of the hand, right? There's always like this W shape, and this will go sort of around his wrist. This is all leather and stuff. So the thumb sticks out here. And it's got like a glove around it, like leather. And then this goes up to his index finger, which sticks up the highest out of all of them, right? And then these ones kind of come towards us. So we'll just get maybe the base of the fingers in kind of just where they would be. And then some sort of hand lines and stuff just coming along this glove then. So this finger sort of the black part of the glove is here. Tricky now. The top of this finger's here. So hands are always tricky. So fingers like side on kind of. And then the pinky is like just coming right towards us. So like you can just see like the top of it here. So that's a difficult enough hand position to draw now. But take your time and you should get there. And it would all be colored black anyway, so the glove will become more distinctive if you color it black, obviously. Okay, hand's probably the trickiest part of that, so I don't blame anyone for not doing the hand. Kane, no mask. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for the support on Patreon. Ooh, wait. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.